The Sporting Live concept came about through the union's social unionism program, which was implemented in the fall of 2010, which is where the committee decided that we will still organise our members around issues, but that there could be some organising around events. And those events can be social in nature, bringing people together from all different avenues and different parts of the world, different parts of the organisation, but bring them together in one particular focused event, predominantly sports.
Sporting lives or supporting lives is S''porting, and well, the way you know, it's a bit of a play with words.
The first Sporting Lives campaign was on the issue of HIV awareness in sports, particularly to do with people who are living with HIV AIDS being involved in sporting activities and trying to overcome the stigma that sometimes they face.
The principal idea, the beginning of this whole thing, was an idea to go to South Africa, invite all the trade unions of the UN, meaning 14 trade unions, coming together in South Africa, playing a tournament amongst each other with South African teams. Now imagine the logistics if that involved.
Even if we stick it to the Western Cape, for example, we reduce our scope, not travelling around South Africa, but reducing it to just to the Western Cape. How about that? Is that possible for you guys? No? Oh, right, okay. Right. No, I understand. Yeah, obviously that's got to take, your programmes of work have got to take priority. Yeah. And what about the match on World AIDS Day that we were talking about? Do you think that's going to come about? Oh, okay. So that still is an option. My feeling is that it's going to be that we're not going to come over, but we still might do something with the World AIDS Day match. I have to talk to the. And to be honest with you, that the NGO there, they were not in any capacity. They have no capacity to do anything, even within the Cape. The South Cape, they can't, they don't have the resources. It's not off if we could do it all ourselves, but what do you reckon, Jules? You know, we'd have to do everything ourselves without, basically they could turn up for match, but they cannot arrange, reserve grounds, they can't guarantee any accommodation. There's
well, nothing is impossible. If we have to do it all by ourselves, it's going to be really short.
Yeah, and the time deadlines are really tight. We need to get a lot of sponsors, you know. So I think it's, I mean, this time around it's going to be very tricky to manage. We're actually discussing some backup plans. Actually, the option came up to maybe try and find something, you know, closer to home, possibly somewhere in Europe. So maybe we should. I think that's probably more feasible. Let's just start looking into the options. It's not the same thing.
But you know, it turned out to be, from a logistical point of view and a financial point of view, to be very, very challenging to do that. But anyway, the plan originally was actually to tie it into the actual campaign of highlighting the stigma and the discrimination people in particular in Africa, South Africa, who suffer AIDS and are discriminated from all types of sporting events. And we chose football because football is the biggest sport in the world. And of course, ideally, we would have tied it into the World Cup in 2010 in South Africa. So we thought, hey, that's a perfect opportunity. There's going to be a lot of media attention, you know, because of the World Cup, and maybe we can link our social campaign to the World Cup.
Our solution was to have a 5-day tour of the UK, incorporating 4 games, playing the Oxford University team, Cambridge University team, Trade Union Congress Football Club, and the UK Members of Parliament football team.
We thought it was important, and I think in particular Rick, we have to mention him, that you know, very much focused on actually, you know, getting the whole team building and team feeling going. So we had one session. That must have been, I think, a couple of weeks before we left in the ICTY. We had you know, just to get to know the players a bit better as to, you know, what their favorite football moments are, and also even basic things, just to know everyone's name, that we all know who is who, which was very, very important. And so basically the first part was more like an exercise that the players get to know each other. The second part was more like a tactical talk regarding the football game. So Theo stood in front of the group with the board and showing some, you know, some some game situations. How should you react to this type of situations? How should we defend? Bit of information on set pieces. If we have free kicks or corners, you know, who should be standing where. So I think it gave it a real professional feel. I'm pretty convinced most players hadn't had that type of experience in that detail. It really looked very professional. But I think it just set the scene that, you know, we really wanted to make a real attempt at this. So that was really good. That was the tactical part.
The first thing that I want to say, once we had the actual event all planned and agreed upon by all the partners, and of course the teams that we had to play, without any matches there wouldn't be a campaign. Once those were all selected, nearing the time, the most important thing for us was getting our team ready and training them and getting them to some degree of competitive state. A lot of the staff here have sedentary jobs in as much as they're sitting a lot of the time, working administrative work, etc. And we had to get them to a certain degree of fitness and also bring them together as a team.
The team was really, I think, a wide reflection of all the posts and organs within the tribunal. There's people there from registry, from the OTP, from chambers. There was interns there. I think there was even someone from the defense. So yeah, so it was, I think, also keeping in mind that a lot of people probably didn't know each other, maybe some by name or face, but I think there was even people I had never seen before. So it was, you know, that type of session I think was pretty instrumental to you know, to get to know each other a bit. And, you know, because let's be honest, after that we were together for just over 4 days. Very, very intense. I mean, absolutely no privacy. So I think it's good to have a feeling as to what type of people you're going with. And yeah, I think it's just, as I said, excellent for the team building. Absolutely.
Second issue, once the date was set, I have to be honest, I looked a lot on the BBC weather site. You know, it's always been a thing in the back of my mind. We're getting into World AIDS Day is on the 1st of December. The campaign couldn't be changed to any other date. It wouldn't have made sense. So obviously we're going to tour, but our anticipation was that everything would be fine. The British Isles generally tend to have a temperate climate. But then when I started to hear the horror stories of, oh, it's going to be very cold, I was checking that every day. Then the booking of the where we were going to depart from through France, the cheapest and most effective route, although not the shortest, that was decided upon. And basically we took it from there, and once we were on the road, actually that's when we could breathe, when we started to be on the road and we can actually now focus on the actual games in hand.
Security as well. The tribunal is all about fighting prejudice, fighting ignorance. We've spent the last 14 years doing exactly that. We've seen what the outcome, the terrible outcome can be from prejudice and ignorance, whether it's based on a person's religion or their ethnicity, the country they come from. And it's great to see the ICTY continuing that fight here through our football team, going off to play these football matches as part of World AIDS Day, which is on the 1st of December. So thank you very much for that. I know you're doing this at your own expense. You're doing it, it's your own time and expense. I have to go and fight the budget next week, so I'll come back with the money, you come back with a cup. How's that? Thanks very much. So we'll meet back here. 20 past 11. Yeah, good, yeah.
Fantastic! Look, who's this? Who's this? I don't know. Who's that? I know, it's the same.
Oh, it's Monopoly money. Monopoly money. It's not the euro.
Yeah, no, outside.
Second day was Saturday morning. Woken up by a phone call message from the captain of the Oxford University team saying that the pitch was frozen and that they were looking for possible alternatives, and it was touch and go whether it was going to be played. They did say it was going to be played. They wanted to play, desperately wanted to play, but that was my morning of dread. So that was the first morning.
Team arrives at the pitch, we realize that the conditions are not the best, but we are keen to play because it was uncertain if the game is gonna go on. And with big assistance of the referee himself and as well as the Oxford team, who were also enthusiastic about the game, we proceeded with the game. And of course, referee instructed us that we should be careful, and depending on the conditions and the way the game would develop, he would then continue with the game or maybe stop it. But you could sense that both our players and the Oxford players were really, really enthusiastic about the game.
And obviously I'd ask you to caution both sets of players that I don't really want to see any flying tackles or sliding tackles, because clearly one of the things that I'm particularly interested in is the safety of the players.
These guys are too young, they are well trained, they're training 3 times a week. Martin Keown is their manager. They are extremely, in football terms, they're extremely organized and prepared and going for it. We are a group just got together 6 weeks before and started training. So I said, we will be slaughtered. We will be hammered. Was, of course, I mean, wave after wave after wave of Oxford. They were really good. But we stood there, and you know, going to half time, we were 3-0 down. That was not that bad.
Now I'm going to say something really weird. We're behind 4-0. 3-0. That's what I'm saying. Okay, it's not bad at all. Hey, and they are 23 years old. Younger. Even younger. Even younger. And we are 36.
Even older.
And even older. So, head up. Your head up. Shoulders backwards. Come on, guys. It's not bad. Keep going.
In the second half, we did have some team changes, and of course, because we don't know each other as these young guys knew themselves, I think the result came to place. Theo advised us, and he said even if we lose 8-9-0, it wouldn't be catastrophe, so we lost only 8-0, not the 9-0. So.
Oxford are a very good team. We understood Oxford consists of 33 colleges. They each have a football team, but this team is actually the best players of all these 33 colleges. So they very good team. And then in the first half, we held out quite well. The halftime score was 3-0, and then in the second half, obviously we're getting a bit more tired, and they didn't get tired at all. So we're slowing down a bit, and they were running just as fast in the first half as towards the end of the second half. So in the end, obviously you could really see our level was plummeting, and the guys from Oxford, at least, we got the feeling, didn't let down. I mean, we thought maybe someone the night they might pity us and go, okay, we're 4-0 ahead and let's not humiliate him. But didn't feel like that. I mean, in the end result was 8-0, and I think obviously it was a fair reflection of the result. But if you think in the difference in level, that the fact that they train 3 times a week, they play at a high level week in, week out, and we had actually just got together a couple of months before. I think in the end, even though it might sound funny, 8-0 was actually quite an acceptable result.
It's absolutely fantastic. I mean, I've just watched the game actually, and actually I think the result probably flattered the university a little bit. That being said, they played very well. They were playing a very talented bunch of young sort of footballers there. I was quite impressed with them. But it is fantastic. They've come across, and they've got, as I understand it, they've got 4 games set up. They're playing Cambridge University tomorrow. They've got a game against the TUC on Monday, and they're playing a team of MPs, the Parliamentary team, which should be interesting. I don't think that the teams that they're going to be playing on Monday and Tuesday are going to be as fit as these lads, so that there'll be some sort of respite for them, and hopefully they'll get a result. But it's a great way to get the message across, and it's a great commitment from the lads as well. We were approached by HIV Sport, which was obviously set up to use sport as a medium to get across a very important message about the spread of AIDS. I mean, it's not just about sub-Saharan Africa, it's about the spread of AIDS globally. And they approached the Educational Sports Forum to hopefully try to use our influence and obviously our contacts to talk to high-profile sports organisations so that they could use those, and particularly their members, high-profile athletes, to get the message across that these things are very important, and hopefully use that.
I think one of the biggest problems about HIV is the fact that because people don't really often understand it, there is still a lot of stigma and discrimination, and that's born out of the fear that people have, the fact they may be able to catch HIV in ways which they really can't. You can only get HIV in some very specific ways, through unprotected sex, that's like using a condom, or through mother-to-child transmission, or by sharing injected needles. You can't get HIV in any other way. But I think that often people don't always understand that, and so there's a little bit of fear and a little bit of stigma, and that can lead to discrimination and people being excluded. What we think is that through sport can be an inclusive mechanism by which people with HIV can play with everyone else, and it's obvious then that you can see that you cannot catch HIV in any other way. And sports are really, really important for people with HIV to play, because it's important to help them keep fit and healthy, and everyone can play sport. It doesn't matter whether or not whether you're HIV positive or not, you can play sport and enjoy it and benefit from it. And we're really, really pleased that following this tour on World AIDS Day itself, the 1st of December, there's going to be another game played in Cape Town in South Africa, and I think that really sort of like caps off this whole tour, and really also just puts the focus back to where we think it should be, which is where HIV is still a real problem, which is in sub-Saharan Africa, where we still need to make sure that the resources and the money and the will and the effort still goes in to make sure the disease, which is preventable and is treatable, that people can live lives free from discrimination, and we can stop the spread of this disease. It's gonna be right now. Everything is gonna be right.
Good, really enjoyed it. It was really good. I know a lot of our guys have aspirations of working for an organisation as prestigious as the UN, so it was really good to get the chance to trade blows on the football pitch as well.
I thought the energy levels were fantastic throughout, exemplary I might say, especially through. I think they made good use of the rolling substitutes. I think at times some of the players looked like they were flagging, but I think every time a new player came on, he injected a bit of life into the game, and I thought they gave us a tough task. Yeah, they were much more energetic and lively than we expected.
Okay, well, I saw a lot of Harry Potters today on the field. They were so fast and they used some magic today, the guys from Oxford. So we couldn't handle it. We were the other team, and Harry Potter won today in the game.
Well, for me, it basically started with a little bit of guilty feeling first, because I thought it's an important campaign when Rick approached us to do the soccer game. But anyway, I felt a little bit guilty to leave my unit, who's really understaffed at the moment, first a little bit alone. So I had to fight with myself first, but then I thought, well, it's an important campaign, let's play some soccer in England. I thought it was a good idea, so I tried to make it, and thanks to my bosses, they made it possible that I could be here. Unfortunately, it took me a little bit longer than most of the team to travel here. They departed at 2 o'clock at the tribunal. I wasn't able because I couldn't leave that early, because Friday is our busiest day. So basically I booked a flight and flew in from Schiphol to London Luton in the evening. Well, unfortunately, EasyJet's engines are not that good as they seem to be, so we had a little leaking problem with oil. I came to the airport, last bus to Oxford was gone, so I had to sleep for 5 hours in a little coffee company in the airport in Luton. Thanks, by the way, to Costa Coffee, great company, great couches. After that, I had to take a 2-hour bus trip to Oxford. From there, a cab to the hotel. Arrived at the hotel at 5 or 5:30 in the morning. Directly a game next day.
My name is Davor. I'm coming from Croatia, working for the defense, which is one of the main reasons why I flew in last night. So I didn't watch the game. Hopefully, I'll see it, not hopefully, I'm going to see it for sure for a couple of times, and I'm going to analyze and everything, but I heard the result, and I really do hope that we're going to do better today.
Sunday morning, it was again the same thing. Had a phone call from Cambridge saying, a lot more forceful, they were saying, look, the pitch is, there's no games at all being played in Cambridge. The County Council have shut all the grounds, they're not allowing play. We then asked for AstroTurf options or other options.
There's no way, I mean, I'm walking, the ground here is, okay, it's hard, but I think it's playable. What about AstroTurf? There must be AstroTurf grounds.
They said no.
In Cambridge. There must be.
We went back to meet with the football team in the morning before we were supposed to depart. Everyone had met early, ready to go, told them the news, and I said, well, we took a decision that whatever happens, a group will go to meet with the Cambridge representative.
Games that are going to be played this weekend.
And we got 8 players and organisers that wanted to go, and we went and turned up, met with the captain, did an excellent tour of the stadium. We saw the ground where we were going to play, which was even worse when we saw the quality of the ground, because it was an excellent place, and excellent pitch. And we spent some time with him, and we then left and departed back to Oxford.
I need to tell you about my impressions of the tour so far. It's been really good. I think the team bonding has been really strong. We've all come together, I think, nicely, and you can really feel it, especially on the pitch. Everybody's standing there for each other. We've had some setbacks, mainly the weather, which is really regrettable. The weather has been really awful for us, and the ground in Cambridge got frozen yesterday. So that certainly is a problem. And something I personally really regret, because we weren't able to play there. It would have been nice to see the guys out again. And I also have another personal setback. I'm injured and I wasn't able to play the first game, and it's questionable whether I'll be able to play at all. Probably not.
Hi, my name is Srđan Marković, and I come from Bosnia and Herzegovina. This is my first time in the UK, and I'm so happy about it, because I have been given the perfect opportunity to play to the land of football and to really play that game on their pitches, which is super cool. I'm also so happy to be a part of this project, mainly because it's a humanitarian one, and I have never participated in something like this, and I'm just so happy and honored to be a big part of it, and to be with all these guys which are here from many nationalities and so different, but here we are like a team or something. So this is really a huge experience in my life.
UK, thoroughly enjoying the trip so far. Shame about the weather. That's probably a big stumbling block that we didn't anticipate. The UN used to fighting war criminals, not so much the British weather. But if you're going to be stuck snowed in anywhere, Oxford's a great place to do it. We had a great trip yesterday around the town. Got to go into some of the colleges, saw a library built in the 13th, 14th century. So Oxford's been great, but shame about the result. Steve probably captured all their goals and stuff. I don't think he captured any of my amazing headers or bicycle kicks or Cruyff turns. You know, they probably disappeared from the footage, which is a shame.
Everything is gonna be right now. Everything is gonna be right. I don't care about it.
Game against TUC was about to be played in some early afternoon, and our main consideration was to get in London in time because we know that the tube strike was on, and as we were going with our minivans, we were just a little bit concerned that we have to be there in time because of course of the crowd that would be in the road and not in the tube, because everybody had to use either car or any other mean of public transportation. Of course, we got there in time, and we did like the pitch, which was a good thing for us, and we had time to prepare ourselves before the game. We were quite happy to see that they had a full team, though we had to borrow them actually two players initially, which were our biggest opponent in the game, I can say that.
What are we going to do today?
Win.
What are we going to do today? Win! Let's go then!
yeah, the guys did definitely have fun playing for the TUC team, because the TUC guys were really, really great opponents and great mates out of the pitch. The game was very tough, and you could say the TUC team, they wanted to win badly as we did, of course, because it was competition after all. And it was quite equal game until the moment we scored the first goal. I luckily scored the first goal, though many of our players had their own opportunities. I remember that Franklin Caraway, he had the ball and he made a few really good moves before he crossed the ball into 18-yard box, and I managed to jump over their defender and score with a header. And then Wendell Abagi came to the scene and scored 2 beautiful goals. Like he dribbled a few players, also came one-on-one with the keeper, and he managed to put first time into the goalie's right corner, and then the second goal I think was the left corner. Or referee didn't show up probably because of the tube strike, and the weather conditions were not the best. And the one that stepped out, and we really want to thank him for that, was Alan Dorego, our standard player in the team, and he did a very good job.
I thought they played very well. Well, rumour has it they've had 6 weeks intense training, so obviously they're a little bit fitter than us today, and it was 1-1 for a long time, but towards the end of the game the fitness told, and we ended up losing 4-1 I think in the end.
I mean, it's a pity other organisations don't do the same. I mean, it's for a great cause, and it's good to get together with people from different nationalities, different organisations, sharing different perspectives, and ultimately the cause is to get together for World AIDS Day and to promote HIV in sports. So I think it's fantastic, really. I wish we could do the same. Maybe we can in the future.
That was an excellent result for us, because they weren't a walkover, that's for sure. And then after that, we both teams went to a pub reception, and after that we departed again to the UK Parliament. The UK Parliament, we had a presentation with an MP, 2 MPs I should say, one from the all-party parliamentary group on HIV AIDS, and the other MP, Peter Bottomley, from the all-parliamentary group on the United Nations. And both made very, very nice speeches about the importance of what we were doing, and also Peter Bottomley made lots of references when he visited The Hague, which was very nice. A lot of recognition there for the work we were doing.
It was really, really nice experience. That was mixture of British history, sightseeing, and it was really something that impacted me, made a big impact on me that night and for the whole tour.
Yeah, this whole concept of coming in to improve the awareness of the young generation about discrimination and HIV is something which I think is worth supporting and encouraging as far as possible, because we all know that students are more delicate than adults because they are likely to make mistakes. So that's actually the place where you should start giving the awareness, first of all, that this illness exists, and that, however, it's not like once you have the illness, you're a different person, or you're supposed to be locked up in a room, but you could still live a normal life like every other person. And that's why I decided to devote my time and money to come here and support this.
You know, but sleeping in the close vicinity of Rick, who snores a lot, is difficult. You know, I mean, the whole building is rumbling like you know, there's 6 trains passing by. That's a bit of a pity.
And then Tuesday morning, departed from the hotel very, very early, completely snowed in.
Game on today or what?
Of course, why not? Why not?
Now, Thomas, you're an Englishman. Does it normally snow this much in November in Britain?
Not in November. Not in November. Apparently there's a mini heat wave in London though. Flip-flops, shorts, t-shirts, it's going to be fine.
So you're optimistic about our chances of playing today?
Until we get there and they say, no way, we're playing.
That's the story.
We're playing. We want to play some football.
snow.
There's been a bit of snow. We're going to be throwing some snowballs against the parliamentarians, but it should be all good. It should all be good.
Do you think this is going to interfere with our chance to play football today?
It might, yeah. We might not play.
We heard there's a tropical heat.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to say that it's exactly 6 o'clock, 15 minutes English time. We are ready to go. Everything's been packed. As you can see, maybe a few more things if we stop in some duty free or so.
There's a tropical heat wave in London.
We've been throwing snowballs.
We promised us cocktails and girls in bikinis.
Snowballs.
I didn't know that it even
They
snowed.
were standing like this to catch my snowball, and Mario was just talking with Jules, and I threw it, and it went off Theo. Jules went like this, or Mario went like this, and Jules got it right in his face.
But a bit of a panic in the morning, completely snowed in, a lot of skidding around and very, very icy conditions. But when we got into London, it wasn't as cold, but it was snowing, sleeting.
Wendell, what do you think about the weather today? Is it going to hold us back?
The weather's going to hold us back. No. I think we're going to play. It's going to be a good match. We're going to win, like, I think 3-0.
We're here in Burton Court, Chelsea, I understand, part of London, and we're playing the MPs. The weather is pretty bad, but it's better than expected. It's not really freezing. The pitch seems to be looking quite good, so the groundsman is confident. So the only issue we have now is are we going to have enough MPs turning up? Apparently they don't like the cold, but you know, we can help them out. We've got a big squad of 19 players, so we'll just chip in with a few players, get the game going. So yeah, it's looking really good. I think everyone is pretty energized. Obviously, we had a short night last night. It was a long evening, late evening, but so we got, I think, 4 or 5 hours sleep. And I think if we would have been told now that the game is off, people would have been a bit down and out, because this is, you know, I think the icing on the cake. But the game is going ahead, so I think, yeah, people are energized, you know, and so yeah, it's going to happen. We're happy.
Okay, so we got the gear, we've got the team, we've got fantastic weather. All we need is some opponents. Best of luck, UN workers.
There's a message. Very nice. We have a special laces, and the text says, "Lace up, save lives." A wonderful action from Nikes.
Okay. Long trip, 2 hours and a half here. Beautiful weather to play. No excuses for that. We got beautiful shoes from the MPs.
Yeah.
Really beautiful shoes. So we should be really proud to wear it.
Well, Red are an organisation set up by Bono and someone else, I've forgotten the name of, I think the nephew of Bobby Kennedy, perhaps. And basically they link up with other big brands like Nike or Gap, iPods, and they create red versions of their product, and then part of the sale goes to the Red Foundation, which is a charity for AIDS, malaria and tuberculosis. So that's great that it's able to get lots more profile with big names like Nike, so fantastic that they've made a kit just for this occasion.
Hey Steve, what about the laces?
Don't worry about it. We play our own game, like always, so try to play the football I like, and we will be careful with slidings and tackles and that kind of hard stuff, but we play our own game.
I'm happy with that already. It's looking great.
Where are you going to get?
Good day for it.
Sporting lives!
I was glad that we won, and I think everybody was glad that we won. We were younger, we should have been better, and we were better, that's true. And you know, it's 2 times winning over and 1 defeat on the tour. Everybody happy, and I was thrilled that we did it like this. Yeah.
At the memento of your tour, Rick, we'd like to be able to present to you a shirt, an England shirt that was signed by all the MPs at the launch event for the Keep a Clean Sheet campaign, and Russell Brown from the All Party Parliamentary group would like to present you this shirt with the memento of your tour.
Excellent, thank you very much.
It does not have the same value as that shirt. It's only parliamentarians.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I managed to nutmeg a few of the UN players. That was quite entertaining. And unfortunately, right at the death, I had a chance in the 6-yard box, but just wasn't quick enough. Ball a little bit slippy at the end there. It was just, it's a typical, perhaps January, February day in November here in the UK. Yeah, the snow was something to put up with. But it was, once you got running around, it wasn't so cold, and thoroughly enjoyed it. It was good to play the UN side. They were very good. A little bit younger than us and quite a lot lighter, I think. And that showed. So they did very well today. It was a good game.
We thought in the beginning we should be able to win this. I mean, they're older than we are. They don't have enough players. We should be able to win this. But it wasn't that easy. I tell you, it was not easy at all. They were tougher than we anticipated in the beginning. It was the pitch was so bad. It was grass. It was full of snow. There was ice. It was harsh. It was bad conditions, really bad conditions. And you could see it in the way we played, because we are extremely well. We're very good players, and we need, of course, with all our technique, we need a good pitch. So we only beat them with 4-1.
I think you should all give yourselves a huge round of applause for the effort of not just playing football, but managing to score goals in this condition is an impressive feat. So you deserve a pat on the back. So my name is Dermot MacDonald. I coordinate the Stop AIDS campaign here in the UK, and we're really delighted to have the cooperation of all of you guys and of the organisations from HIV Sport, from Durex, from Red, from the All Party Parliamentary group, and all of the players who've taken part from the UN and from the Parliamentary football team. And we hugely appreciate you taking the time to come today. And part of our message today is about the need for to bring an end to children being born with HIV by 2015. And you should see dotted around the top deck a selection of kind of illustrations of some of the statistics of how HIV and AIDS impacts upon the world, and the impact that the UK can have through the Global Fund in addressing it.
I've been diagnosed with HIV for about 5 years now. I was diagnosed May 15th of 2006 by the US Marine Corps. So it's a great opportunity that I've been given by Russell's Development to be here and to be a part of this, and just to show my support. And it's, like I said, it's absolutely amazing seeing all of you here and just getting support from all of you. So thank you very much for being here.
But we were able to talk to some MPs and explain them something about our campaign, and we also were able to give them our ICTY staff union book as a gift to remember the day and to remember staff, and also just to basically also remind them of the ICTY, that we're still around. And yeah, so it was all, from a public relations point of view, I think it was good as well.
Seafood, we like seafood. Seafood for seafood, dog food. Dog food? Dog food.
We were able, thankfully, to drive just in front of Westminster, which was quite unique, because most of the centre of London, certainly of that part of London, was cordoned off by police, because there was quite a few protests going on by the students who were protesting against the higher student fees. But obviously it was all cordoned off. But funnily enough, that gave us the opportunity to go to, stand in front of some, for example, some areas in front of Westminster to take pictures in front, the middle of the road, which normally would never have been accessible, and now because of the strikes, and they were actually aware of the fact that the UN team was there as well, so they had been briefed that we were there with the NP, so that gave us some freedom to walk around that area. It's a very tiring trip. I mean, normally from London, where we were, to Dover, it would normally take 1 hour and 45 minutes. But in the end, because of the, well, I think traffic in London is always busy around 3 apparently, plus the atrocious weather conditions meant, we were going extremely slow. So in the end, it took us 5 hours to get there. So we were in Dover by 8, which meant obviously we'd missed that ferry and even the next ferry. So the ferry we took was at 9:30. We got in at local time at midnight in Calais, and then we still had to drive back to The Hague. So in the end, I think most of us were home actually in bed by 4 in the morning and absolutely shattered.
It was a crazy day, a crazy but awesome day. I mean, this morning we woke up at 5, we didn't have much sleep, and there was this epic snowstorm, which I never thought I'd see in London. I mean, I really felt like I was back in Canada at that time. And so we woke up, tried to pack every single gear that we had around, put everything in the trucks, and then we were starting to wonder whether or not the game would even go ahead, because I mean there was snow everywhere, it was wet, it was cold, it was great. And so we left without knowing what was going to happen, if something was going to happen or not. And then we got to London after a pretty long journey actually. It took us more time than I actually thought it would. And once we got there, we were on that amazing pitch in Chelsea, and we kind of realized that most of the time we say that MPs might be vicious in the House of Commons. They can also be quite vicious on a football field. Once that was done, we all got back for one last time. We had to take a cab in London, packed everything up that we left on a football field. And then even though we were wet, we were cold, we prepared ourselves for a journey that we thought would take a couple of hours. Well, in the end, it was quite apparent that no one had really had winter tires on, so it took us a real while. And once we got there, we missed the ferry by a minute, went through security, because apparently we are a great threat. All in all, not only it was a great weekend, but I think it was the cherry on top of Sunday. It was a wonderful day today. We had some incredible weather that I never thought I'd see in London. We had a game of football that I never thought I'd be able to do. I had the opportunity to see both of these things while doing something great for AIDS. So I mean, I can only imagine that everyone else is feeling basically the same way as I'm doing right now, and I'm sure that the smile that I've got on my face basically says it all. So that's pretty much it.
One of the things we highlighted also in the beginning in the campaign, this is really a campaign which has been totally self-funded by the staff members and the ICTY staff union, which indirectly, of course, is funded by the staff.
The roadblocks that we met, the resistance to doing something like this, and also all the other things, we never gave up. We said, okay, that won't work, let's do something else. That won't work, let's do something else. And eventually we got a campaign that wasn't what we originally planned, but what was incredibly successful. And we got the attention of the UK Parliament, we got the attention of media in the region. We made a great outreach campaign for HIV in sports and for the staff of this tribunal. The message that we put out was, it is a message of hope, and we show what we can do when we put our minds to it. So the reflections on sporting lives is never give up, never take no for an answer, and keep on thinking alternatives, because if one thing fails, you can always do something else. But the fact that we've got one now in the bag, we've done one, we can work from this to make it better next time, do something more, a little bit more broader, etc., different sports, etc., like that. Makes it all exciting, interesting, and to be honest, brings some variety and spark into an organisation at a time when it's going to be really challenging to work here. So for those reasons, I believe that it's been an absolute success and worth every minute of heartache and frustration that we faced over those 18 months trying to get it off. And I look forward to doing more.
Guys, thank you very much. I was so proud to be your captain. You were really, really, really great teammates, and for all the support when losing, when playing equal, when fighting for every goal. Just keep on, and I hope that I will have you on the team, that I will be, again, a part of the team. And for those that left the team, be sure that we're going to visit you wherever you go in your home country, and you're going to play for us for sure. See you.
What happens on the mission stays on the mission.
This is the party that I just won quick.
Alain Dorego, Côte d'Ivoire, Finance Assistant, Midfield.
Amir Cengic, Bosnia and the Netherlands, Legal Officer in the Appeals Chamber, Central Defender on the team.
Andrej Knežević, Belgrade, Serbia, Records Clerk, Captain of the team. Left back, right back, wherever.
Bram van der Eerde, Dutch National, ICTY Security Lieutenant, right half.
Davor Lazic, Croatia, Legal Assistant for Defense, Striker.
Felix Overs, the Netherlands, Scanner at the Evidence Unit, Midfielder.
Friendly Terroray, the Netherlands, Reprographic Office, Midfield.
Jochen Drück, Germany, Court Officer, Midfielder.
Jules Albers, the Netherlands, Head of Transport and Logistics, fullback.
Julien Baudieu, Canada. I'm an intern in the chambers at the ICTY and I'm a forward.
Mario Barfus, Switzerland, President's Office, Project Manager, left wing, striker.
Security, oh shit, sorry.
It's okay.
Usman Jikam, Cameroon, Associate Legal Officer, Defender.
Roman Bouknecht, the Netherlands, Archives and Asset Assistant, right back.
Steve Coulson, Canada, Audiovisual Director, Team Videographer.
Name, country, job.
Sure, we're tackling. Security. Position. Shit, I'm doing it again.
Okay.
Srđan Marković, Sarajevo, Bosnia and Herzegovina, intern in the OTP of the ICTY, right back.
Tom Hughes, UK, legal intern on standard judiciary planning case, vice captain.
Tomislav Kamber, Croatia, legal intern on Perišić case, midfield.
Ben Labagi, born in Suriname, security corporal, striker.
Sure, we're tackling. Aruba, security and safety, goalkeeper.
Rick Cottam, United Kingdom, Staff Union President, Team Manager. And last but not least, I would like to thank Steve, our cameraman. Without this footage, we would be able only to pass the message verbally. And of course, you cannot say in 1,000 words what picture can say in one shot. Thank you, Steve.
Everything is gonna be right now. Everything is gonna be right.